Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, Falling Over Books. Today I have my October wrap-up. I read a total of 27 books this month, so let's get started. The first book I read was 4-Letter Word by J. Daniels, and this I gave 4 out of 5 stars. It's an adult romance, contemporary, about 2 people who meet kind of over the phone, I guess. And I like this, but I didn't like it as much as J. Daniels' other books. But I'm excited for the second book that is about Jamie, I think. But I still really like this, and I do recommend this book if you like romances, because you may like it more than I did. But it's not my favorite, but I did enjoy it while I was reading it. Next, I read Beautiful by Christina Lauren, and this is like the 10th book in the Beautiful Bastard series. I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. I loved it. It had one of my favorite tropes in it, and it was just so great. And I'm so sad to say goodbye to all of these characters. I don't really want to spoil much for you, but it follows Pippa and Jensen, and it was so good. Like, I just devoured it, and I loved it. It was so amazing. I read The Wanted Virgin by Alexa Riley, and this I gave 2 out of 5 stars. Once She Dreamed Part 1 by Abby Glines, this I gave 3 out of 5 stars. The Virgin Cowboy, which is the 4th book in the Cowboy and Virgins series by Alexa Riley, this I gave 2 out of 5 stars. Then I read Unsuitable by Samantha Towell, and this I gave 3 out of 5 stars. Sugar Free by Sarah Bennett, this I gave 4 out of 5 stars. It is the 3rd book in the Sugar Bowl series. It's kind of like a suspense romance series. I really like this one. It was a great conclusion to the series, and I'm really happy with the way it ended, and I highly recommend you check this trilogy out, especially if you like suspense with a lot of romance. This is definitely it. Then I read Redbeard Science by Penny Reed, and this is the 3rd book in the Winston Brothers series, and this I gave 4 out of 5 stars. It's more like a 4.5 out of 5. Like, it was so good. It's oddly my favorite one in the series, which I didn't think I'd like it because I wasn't really a fan of Cletus in the first 2 books, but oh my gosh, this one was just so great. This is a companion series that follows a group or family of brothers, and they find love and everything, and this one was probably my favorite. I think I also really liked Jennifer. She was a great main character, and I really liked this book. After that, I read probably one of my favorite books of this year. That is The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. You've probably seen this around a lot on Goodreads and on Instagram, and that's kind of where I think I found this, but oh my god, this was so amazing. I gave it 5 out of 5, and I reread some of it already. This book put me in a book hangover because it just put me in a slump. I was just like, I could not stop thinking about it. I loved this book so much. The Hating Game follows Lucy and Joshua, who work at the same publishing company. Yeah. And they despise each other. Like, they hate each other. And now they have to fight for the same position. And it did the hate to lovers trope so well. Or like enemies to lovers trope so well. Sometimes I feel like some books take it too far, or there's not enough, and this one was just like, it was so perfect. Like, I just loved everything about it. I loved Joshua. He was so perfect and amazing, and I loved reading from Lucy's point of view. It was just so great, and you need to read this, especially if you love romance books or just contemporaries. I love this. It was amazing. Go read it now. Then I read Pucked Under by Helena Hunting, and this I gave 3 out of 5 stars. Then I finally read Forever Dune by Carrie Corp and Lori Langdon. This is the 4th book in the Dune series. I think it's called the Dune series. This just wraps up Veronica's and McKenna's story. I really liked it. This is kind of like a young adult middle grade series. Yeah, it's kind of fantasy-ish, I guess. It's fantasy contemporary. The first book is very like contemporary fantasy. This, however, is more fantasy. It follows two best friends who go to Scotland for their summer, and they walk across this bridge, and it brings them into this magical place called Dune. And yeah, I really like it. It's definitely fun and light, and if you don't want heavy fantasy, I do recommend this series because it's kind of written middle grade-ish but still young adult. I highly recommend. Oh, and this I gave 4 out of 5 stars, by the way. After that, I read the Billionaire Stepbrother by Emily, and this I gave 3 out of 5 stars. The Billionaire Daddy by Emily, and I gave this 2 out of 5 stars. Honor by Jake Crownover. This is the first book in the Breaking Point trilogy. This I gave 4 out of 5 stars. It's kind of crime, suspense, mystery, romance. I really liked it. Defying Her Mafioso by Terry Ann Browning. This is the first book in a new series. This I gave 3 out of 5 stars. It wasn't my favorite. I did enjoy it, but it's not really memorable for me. But I'm excited to read the next book whenever that comes out. Halloween Treats by Alexa Riley. This I gave 2 out of 5 stars. Punk 52 by Penelope Douglas. This I gave 3 out of 5 stars. This one disappointed me a little bit. It had too many vibes similar to her other book, Bully, and so there's too many same vibes, and I was like, I don't know. I still did like it though. His Dirty Secret by C.M. Steele. This I gave 2 out of 5 stars. A Place in the Sun by R.S. Gray. This I gave 3 out of 5 stars. I really was excited for this, and I love the cover. I think I kind of want to reread it because I was kind of in a little slump while I was reading it, and I don't think I appreciated it enough. So I kind of want to reread it because I have a feeling it'll be a 4-star the second time I read it. So after that, I read The Blockade by Amy Ewing. This is the 3rd and final book in the Lone City trilogy. This I gave 4 out of 5 stars. It's super short. All of the books in this trilogy are super short. It's a young adult dystopian about young girls who are sold to royal families as surrogates. So they're sold to royal families so that they can have the babies for the royal families. It's weird, it's creepy, but I really, really like this trilogy, and this one was action-packed, great conclusion, and I'm definitely gonna miss Violet's story. Next, I read The Lovely Reckless by Cami Garcia. This I gave 4 out of 5 stars, but I think I'm going to bump it down to 3 because, as I recall, it was kind of boring in the beginning, and then kind of towards the middle and end it really picked up, and I'm starting to like it. So I think it's more of a 3-star for me, 3.5 if we want to be technical. Yeah, this follows a girl who goes to live with her dad, who is an undercover cop, and he lives in the kind of rougher side of the city, and she goes to a new school now, and she meets Marco, who is kind of the bad boy, and lots of drama and stuff. I do recommend this if you like young adult contemporaries. It just didn't live up to what I thought it was going to be. I thought it would be more kind of perfect chemistry vibes, but it wasn't. But by Simone Alcaraz, by the way, I have it up there. But I still liked it. It was alright. Then I finally finished Uprooted by Naomi Novik. This I gave 2 stars. There's nothing wrong with the book. Nothing at all. I think it's more a me thing where I'm over fantasy. I just have a really hard time reading fantasy, liking fantasy. There's nothing to me in this book that stood out that I thought it would. I'd heard really good things about this and I was really excited. It just didn't live up for me. I mean, if you like fantasy, I say give this a try because you may like it, but I'm not the biggest fantasy reader anymore, so it was kind of a complete bust. I read Keepsake by Serena Bowen. This is the third book in the True North trilogy, I think, and this I gave 4 out of 5 stars. Really liked it. I would have given it 5 stars, but there was a point towards the end where a certain character goes to therapy and they change into like a completely different person. Like, I understand you get help and you know you change, but like this character felt like a completely different person, and it just kind of made me like, ugh, I don't know. But I did give it 4 stars because I did really like it up to that point. So okay, sorry if the lighting's different. It's because my battery died while I was talking about the last 2 books and I had to redo it. Anyways, so next I read was The Female of the Species by Mindy McGinnis, and this I gave 4 out of 5 stars. It's more like 4.5. I really loved it. I wasn't really sure what it was about going into it. It is a very unique book. I don't know how to describe it. I don't really want to say much about it because I feel like you should go into it blind. It's a young adult contemporary following 3 characters, and it's all of their lives kind of intertwined, and trigger warnings for rape and violence. It's not, I mean, it's pretty descriptive. Yeah, it's pretty descriptive. I just really liked this book though. It was so powerful, and I love the way that it was written. It was written very uniquely. It was a lot of metaphors, but not too overwhelming of metaphors. It was just so good. I highly recommend it. I really loved it. Tarnish by Catherine Longshore. I bought this at the thrift store a while ago and I loved this. Like, I was so shocked that I actually enjoyed this. It's a young adult historical fiction that follows Anne Boleyn and her beginnings at court. This is kind of everything up till she begins something with the king. So it's kind of her beginning. And I love the way that Catherine Longshore wrote Anne. She wrote her as this girl who just wanted to be heard and wanted love, and I just felt like it was so great. Like, I just really liked how Anne Boleyn was portrayed in this book. I feel like often she's portrayed as like this manipulative bitch, I guess. I don't know. I think she's, and this was not like that. I mean, she was kind of bratty, but I don't know. I just really liked it, and I give this 4 out of 5 stars. It was just really well done, and I loved the way it was written, and I highly recommend it if you like historical fiction. This one is Bad Mother Fucker by Jacinda Wilder. This I gave 2 stars. And then Mr. President by Katie Evans, which I gave 4 stars. But I wasn't like super in love with it. It was kind of disappointing, I think, because it ended on a cliffhanger, and I thought it was a standalone. It's not. I still really liked it, but it wasn't what I hoped it would be. But I am excited to read the second book. And this I gave, 4 out of 5 stars, but I kind of want to give it 3, but I don't know. So those are all the books that I read in the month of October. My favorite one was probably The Hating Game. I loved that book so much. So make sure you give this video a like, subscribe, follow me on all of my other social media, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!